So I'm excited to see Wireless Jacks here, uh, you know, play really strong against this team. Genesis, but Genesis also kind of an unknown with very little history in comp. So we'll see how this one actually plays out.
Yeah, that's the question, and we're about to have it answered. That Genesis logo, very Valentine's themed almost, looks, I don't know, gives me the good, warm, fuzzy feelings here on Valentine's Day. Speaking of which, thank you for being my Valentine Twitch. Over here to Blitz as he goes for the pass, and Gilligan, there it goes again to start it off. I can never help myself with that one, but Gilligan getting the first goal for Wireless Jacks.
A nice little feed there from Blitz to Gil as Gil drops in from right in front of the goal in that high percentage scoring area. Coming in face to face, one-on-one with that goalie to hook it up above and put them up by 2 to start.
Yeah, and that assist there going from a Blitz, and obviously the newest member here to Wireless Jackson. Is there anything you can tell me about Blitz here? What you know? I know seeing him play the last week, he had some nice saves from what I recall. Good defense, but he's one of those players that I'm still, as a caster even just trying to see what he's all about.
I mean, he's a very well-rounded player. From what I've played with him in pubs and scrimming against their team, he's a kind of a titular midliner. Tends to move up on the play a lot. Likes to take shots. Likes to cut in like right now, cut it right on the goal there, and open himself up for that feed from Will to stuff it for the dunk.
That was some absolutely picturesque passing there from Wireless Jacks. Gotta love it. That is, yeah, just look at that replay. Appreciate it, because those are the kind of passes that really differentiates, I think, top of the line teams from those kind of in the mid tiers and things like that, because the passing game just insane between some of these teams at the top with great chemistry, and Wireless Jacks looking great on that one. So Akami will take it over here and look over to Gilligan. He'll be stunned out. Not happy about that one, as Will just beyond the grasp tries to get the disc. Could not, but the immediate stacks, a couple of them forming for Wireless Jackson, eventually retaining the disc.
And good speed there by Wireless Jacks to recover that clear attempt. Well ahead of Genesis here, being able to get there well ahead first. As Genesis now looking to attack the bubble.
Some good patience there from Jay to Baker as they take a long three. That will be a tough make from that angle. Cut off nicely, though, by Knife Rich in the back here, intercepting it and looking to distribute up top. Now, H Money takes that one, looking to drop it off to Jay to Baker, but that one's a little bit too hard in the pass, so it gets thrown out, and no midline defender able to take that one this time. So right back for Wireless Jacks, maybe. About to be up by another couple.
What a nice shot there from Akami. Akami, the goalie, kind of comes out to challenge a little bit, but doesn't release that goal. So Ak kind of taking advantage of the space the goalie made there, popping it around him off that backboard. And just get a chat real quick. Cruising saying Blitz has been underrated for a long time. And I would say, I don't know so much underrated, but just a little more not as well known as some other players. I think anyone who's played against Blitz can probably attest to how talented he is as a player.
Yeah, and well, that applies to even for the players here on Genesis. Obviously, when you're coming here, hold on, as this pass just misses, but clearly these players aren't new at all, but they're new to competitive, several of them. So that's the thing. It's like the same with Blitz, where obviously they know the game, they've been playing it, they're experienced, but it's a matter of, how do they perform in the competitive setting? What's their team chemistry like? What is their positioning like? Because we also know the play styles of players in pubs and random mixed scrims. It's not always the same when you're actually playing these real actual comp matches. We saw Blenders earlier too, for instance. He's a perfect example of that. Play styles very different between pubs and comp.
Yeah, and it's one of the hardest, toughest lessons to learn early on, is to trust your teammates, because pubs kind of encourage a sort of play style to where you can't always trust your teammates. So your default tends to be to not trust your teammates and to do what people would refer to as kind of solo play. And what a feedback there to the goalie. Almost looks like he saved a shot from his own teammate.
Yeah, great job there on the re-grab, though. So almost kind of a double steal, 1 by 1. And it was Knife Ridge, I believe, who was able to stop a shot attempt after the initial steal. So it'll go over to the corner. H Money scanning and just looking around and confirming that he has a little time to maybe do something with it. He goes down low, recognizing his teammate there, but just an unfortunate bounce will get loose, but still grabbing it back. So nice from Jay to Beka for the steal and slap.
Yeah, it was a nice play there from Jay Tabaka. He sends it across to the man who's sitting on Ghost. With the man on Ghost, it just what a save there from Will by that man on Ghost. Beautiful stop.
And it was Kaiden in there going on the shot, but just cut off at the very moment that he entered that bubble. So he was pretty much forced from his position to do something with the disc, whether it was pass it, throw it back, or just try for a goal. Opted for the goal, and opting for that one. There's the hot shot 4-3, and a hot shot that will be to cut the lead in half for the guys on Jax. So Genesis coming along here with some points.
And H1 not hesitating, because had he hesitated, there was that chain coming in. It was either going to be hitting him or hitting the goal. And so had he hesitated, he would have either gotten stunned out, or there would have been enough time for the goalie to get on goal and possibly make a stop. So well done there by H1 to not hesitate and pop that one in confidently.
And there's another nice lead pass to Alchemy. We'll just get him a one-on-one straight up. Gets it off the skull of Knife Rich. And, well, that's rich for the Wireless Jacks, but for Knife, he's not feeling too happy about that, I suppose. Those ones I always mention every time. He just hurt.
Certainly, and the way that dinged too, it looks like it might have had Knife Rich not even been there. That shot might have dinged out of the goal, but then I believe it went off kind of the backside of Knife Rich's head and kind of kept it moving that direction.
Yeah, so Wireless Jacks will take it as a result, and gladly so. Maybe buying themselves another opportunity. There's 2-on-2 situation forming now as some of the defense does retreat. So now up to a 3v3 situation as 2 more players still kind of delayed. There's a dump off, not quite looking for the pass perhaps, and also bothered by H Money and the defense. And Genesis still looking to obtain, and then looking for a bottom ramp shot, maybe a rebound. That's a beautiful rollout there on that coordinated play to get themselves 2.
Yeah, Knife Rich was in exactly the right spot at exactly the right time as that roll in from Jay Tabaka through the trench kind of rolls right up in front of the goal, and Knife Rich had to grab it and just toss it in casually. Well done there.
And right now, so I like this casting strategy here. I'm going with Tabaka, you're going with Tabaka. One of us has to be right, surely.
Well, given my own tendencies, he's Jay Tabaka forever, and even if I'm wrong, I'll be saying Jay Tabaka till the cows come home.
Move. All right, off it goes to the bottom wedge here, taken and actually lost. H Money kind of inadvertently juking the defender off that one, so they'll retain possession, that is. But now losing it off to Wireless Jacks as it goes sailing into the bubble, and so that's one of those things too that you'll notice that experienced teams especially very aware not to just randomly throw those clears into the bubble area, especially like that. A lot of the time going for the back pass, so maybe just a small critique, see a little more of that from Genesis into the future. But again, that's one of those kind of team chemistry things and trusting your team's positioning, things like that.
And Mozzie in chat, who is a member of Genesis here, correcting me, and that I believe she is confirming he was. I believe that's a she. Oh no, I don't.
Okay, so you can say she, I'll say he, and one of us are bound to be right. Also, excellent.
Mozzie's saying Jay Tabaka, but I'm gonna argue and say there's no e in that name, and therefore I cannot reasonably pronounce it Tabaka. So it's gonna be Jay Tabaka.
Then again, Mozzie could have been LMAOing at my pronunciation. I don't know. Cruisin's saying you're right. So right now, we're just in all kinds of a fray as this disc goes astray, taken away by Gilligan, clears it, and through the tunnel, it will go. And right back out again, actually.
Now with only 30 seconds left, if Genesis wants a shot here in this game 1, they're going to have to make something happen now, and it's going to have to be a free. So on this next rush here, look for some desperate opportunity here from these guys.
12 seconds left. They need a 3. If nothing else, for Genesis could not find it, and with that cleared, that should in fact seal the first round victory here for a Wireless Jax, coming away 8-5.
That'll do it for the round.
Yeah, well fought here from Genesis against a sure-footed team like Wireless Jax. We've been playing together now for quite a few months. But yeah, Wireless Jax won out the win, 8-5. And I guess we'll go to the game stats. If I can pull them up, there we go. So we got 3 points. A lot of, I think, more zeros on the board than, yeah, there it is. So it's 2 points to Alchemy, 2 points to Blitz, 2 points to Gilligan. But I believe Ak was the one who got that goal off of Knife Rich's head. So that would be 4 points to Alchemy. Then 3 saves to Will I Am. And then over on Genesis, just 3 points to H Money, 2 points to Knife Rich. And then a couple, 1 steal to Knife Rich, 1 save, 2 saves to Jade Tabaka, Jade Tabaka. And yeah, so well fought by these guys, by the guys on Genesis, doing a fairly decent job of stuffing some pass lanes, forcing some difficult passes out of Wireless Jax, and generally kind of doing a good job of stuffing up around the mid area as well. But yeah.
Without a doubt, 8-5. That is a very tight margin there. So you got to take that as certainly a moral victory there for Genesis, because they hung right in there with, again, obviously a much more experienced team who's played together for longer in competition. But Genesis really did handle some business there. Couldn't quite come through with a win, but they kept it within a single goal differential. So that is really good news for them, and might spell some good news for them in the second round if they can just build more upon it.
And a nice one on the joust there by Genesis with the headbutt, and now in control. H Money on this near side ball. Oh, what a grab by Gilligan.
And it seems like, so Genesis, they had 2 players deep in the back line there. There was one at mid. There was one almost all the way at their goal, just about. And that one going in and almost saved off Knife again. It looks like it turned orange briefly, but Blitz gets the credit.
12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7.
So back on the offense here will be H Money and Co. Knife Rich, J Tabaka, Baka. I don't know what to believe. Chad is telling me so many different things. Ant gas. I mean, leave me alone.
I think Mozzie is going to have to be our authority here, given Mozzie's on Genesis. So,
but it's
probably the one to know.
It's still so like. The way that Mozzie phrased it, it's not even confirmation I'm correct, so I don't know what to believe. But coming in here, weaving a pass to Gilligan. That was a nice one. Oh, off the backboard. Softly. I'm not even sure if that was the intended shot because of the stun. But, hey, it got in the goal.
Yeah, Knife Rich saw it going high, reached up, grabbed the rim, and then, yeah, it was kind of a slow turnaround on the bounce in. So great shot there by Gilligan to kind of cross the wires of the goalie there, make space and get that one in. 5 spot with 100 bits there. Thanks, buddy. You know we love you.
Yeah, saying let's go WJs. Looking for them to get the W on these plays as Blitz looks to amaze with that pass, but it is going to be cut off there and sent down to the bottom again. So Genesis has a chance to get on the scoreboard with that great pass. Oh, the shot just slightly off. Still a rebound. One more attempt, but coming from too deep out there. And another intercept, another shot. It is a flurry here for Genesis in the second round right now.
Yeah, they had a few good looks on goal there. A couple 3 opportunities and a 2, and just not able to quite capitalize on it. And also great hands from Will I Am in the goal there.
So a bounce delivery to Gilligan will find an open goal. So Alchemy there, handing it off, and Gilligan had a plan.
It looked like goalie tried to get back in the goal, but unfortunately, goalie tried to get back in the goal, or actually goalie came out. Someone else tried to fill the goal spot, didn't get a grab on any of the blocks, and opted to challenge the shooter on the way in, and that's what created that space.
Talk about space. A lot of open space off that joust. Both teams actually missing the disc on that first potential grab opportunity, and with that, goes from a 6-point game to a 9-point game, and Yeah, I was about to say just before that happened, 6 points is nothing really. 9 points just mentally, it looks so much worse than 6, you know?
It does, and just real quick shout out to, I think that was Akami who put it in, the discipline to keep the hand behind the 3-point lane, the 3-point bubble. When sending that one in, it's so easy to kind of overextend the shot, and it ends up as a 2, but they keep the whole 3 there.
Yeah, great discipline from them. Worst one of the night.
Oh, that was a bad one.
This is why I don't have a Valentine. Anyway, off to the other side, Blitz will take it over. Actually, no, it goes back to H-Money down low. He's trying to punish off here and maybe get themselves some points. Finally, Kaiden looking, but no, will not go so to the wall.
That's so much for subtlety. Continues to ground in the background.
It's good to have you back, buddy. I'm sure you don't feel the same, but anyway, it goes into the tunnel and taken here by Gilligan.
An unfortunate pass, but Wicks picks up. Look at Will coming in to pick up the trash on that one, and a nice little feed there, and going right back to him. Oh my goodness, what a play there between Will.i.am and Blitz. Will pick it up. I didn't quite catch who that pass was initially intended for, but Will picking it up on the back chain, and then him and Blitz just walk in there. A couple give and goes. Beautifully done there by that pair of Wireless Jacks.
Yeah, launching out now for them, and another turnaround. That is just speedy. And you know what? We've seen this from Wireless Jacks in multiple matches now. In fact, this is not the first time against like other teams. They've actually done that quite a few times. The wireless stacks, so impressive on that speed.
Yeah, you know, when you've got another team, when you're playing against a team that's beating you to the disc like that, you kind of, after the first time it happens, it's usually a signal that you need to make an adjustment there. Go with a quicker launch setup so your quarterback can be guaranteed to get there before that other team does, because when they can win that race, that's such an upper hand for that opposing team.
Another shot attempt. Oh, an anchor from the corner, and Will with the Iron Will on that reception. Great save.
Yeah, Will now picking up, I don't remember, I think he came into this game with 2 saves, but now up to 5, so he's already got 3 game-credited saves so far in this round 2.
Jay Tobacco looking for a deep one off the bottom. We do have H-Money gliding in, couldn't quite get to the disc in time, but on the other side, some good defense here. All over draped is Jay Tobacco, so he makes the turnover, and now H-Money just trying to make it count, loses it off some Geo as the collection comes in from Kaiden, gets punched, and Akami will take it right back for the Jacks. Now, that said, it only lasts for about a moment because, again, right back. So a couple turnarounds will turn around into a great-looking shot from the tunnel. Gilligan on the spot.
Yeah, Gilligan from 32 meters out. Doesn't hesitate, sees that open lane. They don't have a guy back in goal. That was Knife Rich hanging back. I guess Knife Rich probably moved up a bit, left that lane open just enough for Gilligan to pop that one in for that 3 there. So now Wireless Jack's only 3 points away from that mercy.
They are so fast on those joust rollouts defensively. Got to start paying more attention to what they're doing in tunnel. Maybe to Gilligan's dismay, but I'm just curious because, wow, they get there so fast. It's uncanny. That's a good pass. Going to be actually just sailing past a couple hands. And right here, Akami weaves his way around, so good patience to just dodge the defender and find the goal up front.
Yeah, and that pass sequence there does a great job of pulling that goalie out. Goalie decides to attack somebody. I didn't quite catch which one the goalie bit on. But yeah, they opened the goal right up for Akami to bring that one in, and stuck with that too.
So we are a 1 goal away from a mercy here if this does happen. Gilligan trying to stamp it off, and yes, signing that Valentine's card and ending the match. 21 points in the second round, and after what was a very close first one, just an absolute blitz, I guess pun sort of intended, from Wireless Jacks to make that a stamp out with the 21 points.
And Gilligan channeling his inner Zach W as he comes in with a little bit of whirly twirly of his own, spinning in on the goalie to stuff that one in for the win there. Yeah, and that second game I think was more in not to speak down on Genesis at all, but I think that's more
No, not absolutely.
what I was expecting. And so, but with that having been said, that first game was a great showing by Genesis, and I think is kind of where they should hang their laurels in this one, as that's the that right there kind of shows that they do have the potential.
Too, I mean, just being realistic here, looking at their past matchups. I mean, Genesis again, a newer team, newer combination of players who haven't played in competition or competitive Echo before, in either of these leagues that we've had, and just going against some tough teams. I mean, again, Ignite was their first match in week 1 there, and they lost that one with a total score of 31-6. Just the fact they scored 6 on Ignite, honestly, because Ignite is one of the longest standing teams with great chemistry, and they've been around since the very beginning. Then going against Chaos, Genesis pulled ahead on that one with a 28-24 differential and made a win out of that. Now going against the Wireless Jacks, who again, these guys have all been playing maybe not quite as long as like Ignite has together, but they've still been a team that's has just undoubtedly immense chemistry. We saw it on those excellent passes. We saw it on those incredibly fast boosts. So
And I can
for
say
Genesis,
I see it frequently every week in scrims against them. They are definitely very well suited with each other.
yeah. So like for Genesis, again, in the spirit of just being candid here, it's very tough matchups they got as a new team to start. And of course, with the ladder system, ideally, things were seeded from preseason, and a majority of the matchups ending up quite good. But for the newer teams with no established MMR, kind of the luck of the draw sometimes. And they drew 2 very tough teams in their first 3 games, and yet they held their own for several of those rounds.
Ooh,
And
real
came through.
quick. This is not related to this game in particular, and I know it's early in the season, so this doesn't mean a whole lot other than just where we currently stand. But Team Joker, with that win over Illuminati, not even counting their second win on the evening, Team Joker is already in first place over Kang, even, who is currently the only undefeated team in the gold. The gold, I don't know what we call that, gold tier, gold realm, gold, whatever, the gold star top 4 teams. So just interesting note there that Joker has topped the leaderboard currently.
Well, hey, the more you know. On note of the gold star, yeah, Team Joker pulling ahead, and that's some interesting breaking news, almost ticker worthy down there. But like, yeah, for Kang, we talked about them a bit earlier on in the night, looking really impressive to start the season out. But of course, in the preseason, finishing a 5th, I believe, right, just outside that playoff bracket. So perhaps that indeed playing a factor here. I mean, I don't know all the math,
that
obviously.
Would be my presumption, yeah,
but that would be
Kang started lower, yeah.
Yeah, so Kang, having to work their way up a little bit more, whereas Joker was already rated higher in the MMR in the rankings from preseason, so that would make some sense. But, I can't emphasize more. Like I said earlier, the race between these top teams in these tiers. I mean, really, all the way from position 1 down to, I want to say, just off the top of my head, like a 8, 9, 10, something like that. I mean, really, there's just so much fight, and I feel like any teams in those brackets can really take rounds off of each other, take games off of each other.
Absolutely.
On any given day, if one team's having a really good day and another team's just having an average one or whatever, I mean, the upset potential, it's not super surprising to see because of the competition being that tight.
Oh, yeah, I definitely agree. It's really there's so many teams that could take a game off of just about any other team in the league. So yeah, very excited to see how the season 1's going to play out.
Without a doubt. Okay, ladies and gents, so that will be our match for now. We do have one more, but it's not coming until much later. It's 11 p.m. Central Time between SSBC Legends against Milk. So that one will in fact be cammed and casted, at least by myself. We'll see if we get anyone else in. But yeah, that's a mighty late game, but we're happy to do it here on this Valentine's Day night, because that's how I spend this holiday. Love it. All right. So anyway, that was a great game. Thank you, SirDimwi, for joining me, and so much for subtlety as well on the cams. It's been fun.
As always.
And to the Twitch chat, I'm just joking. See, self-deprecation. I've been told you're not supposed to do that on dating apps, so I got to save it for the streams where I can just let it all out. Subtlety. Yeah, missed you. Anyway, we're going to go now before I just talk myself into a hole. So yeah, follow us on Twitter, like me on Bumble, and I've been Palidore, and this has been VR Master League. We'll see you again real soon. Goodbye.